Tomorrow, Prince George Peace River MP Bob Zimmer is headed home after a week-long tour of Israel. He's getting used to taking cover in bomb shelters because this has been an unusually violent summer in the Middle East.
It's a shocking sight, but one that's becoming more and more common in Israel. While visiting the Tower of David Museum in Jerusalem, Bob Zimmer says he and 4 other MPs were ushered into a shelter.
It just was a warning, and we all went into the shelter, and then it happened again. It's happened a few times now, so it happened again a few nights after that in Tel Aviv, so we're getting kind of used to it over here.
Long before this recent string of bombings, Prince George Peace River MP Bob Zimmer was invited on a tour of the country. Every summer, the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs hosts a tour of the country for Canadian MPs. Aside from seeing the sights, they have plenty of meetings.
Israeli members of parliament, Israeli journalists, Israeli experts. We always ensure that there's a meeting or multiple meetings with Palestinian representatives and Palestinian experts so they get an opportunity to get a broad understanding.
Zimmer says after experiencing it firsthand, he has a better understanding of what Israelis live through. A change in perspective is exactly why the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs says it offers the tours. For the Canadian politicians who are invited, the trip is free of charge.
We pay the cost. We are the advocacy arm of the Jewish Federations of Canada, so we are funded strictly by Canadians. We're not, we're not an arm of the Israeli government or anything like that. We're strictly a Canadian organization.
The MPs on the tour are from all political parties, and they aren't the most recognizable federal politicians. That might allow them to travel with less security and attention. Several of the MPs invited by the centre are young and newer to politics. That could mean a closer relationship with Canadian politicians of the future.
Unequivocally, myself as a parliamentarian and us as a government stand against Hamas and their willingness to just strike terror into Israelis. And for us as Canadians, we're standing with Israel, and it's just a show of support as well in tough times.
Bob Zimmer says the trip has opened his eyes to Canada's connection with Israel.
We've met so many Canadians, so many from different nationalities that are Jews that have come back to Israel just to put their flag in the sand to say, hey, we're not going, and you have to appreciate that.
Tuesday, the MPs are set to head home.